Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking. Time for thinking ahead. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is time to talk about the stock market, and welcome to the Black Financial Channel. There are a couple of big things I want to talk to you guys about. The first is the regular update. You guys know every morning I tell you what's going on in the stock market, and stocks have pulled back largely because of an increase in the 10-year Treasury bill yield, which apparently is the driving factor in all stock prices right now, which is kind of crazy, but it is what it is. And then there's this lawsuit. A class action lawsuit filed on behalf of the investors in Workhorse. A lot of you invested in Workhorse, so I'm going to break down some of this lawsuit for you. So we're going to get started. Hit the thumbs up button, share button, subscribe button. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Good morning. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins, your friendly neighborhood finance professor. And today, the stock market looks like it's cooling off a little bit. Yesterday was a really good day. Today isn't a great day. It looks like things are pulling back a little bit. The big scare factor is the yield in the 10-year Treasury note. Now, the interesting thing about that is that this yield is an indicator of inflation. Inflation is the boogeyman right now in the market. Tech stocks got hit first, which that's what's going to happen. Growth tech stocks got hit the hardest. So Tesla fell by 3%. Netflix and Facebook are down 2%. Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft are also down by 1%. So NASDAQ stocks are being hit. Everybody's paying attention to this 10-year Treasury yield, which actually jumped by about 0.1% to 1.63%. That means bond prices are dropping. When bond prices drop, yields go up. That's just a fundamental kind of thing in terms of how bonds and yields kind of operate. So the big question, as we discussed a little bit yesterday, and I'm not going to rehash too much of this, you can listen to the video from yesterday, is what's going to happen with inflation. The big story, obviously, is the stimulus. Stimulus went out $1.9 trillion. Pent up demand. People now can take their mask off and go shopping. There's $1.6 trillion that people have been saving in the pandemic. And then there's also, the general idea that happy days are here again, that people are going to spend money. The economy is going to take off, and they're worried that the economy is going to overheat. If it does overheat, that's going to hammer some of your growth tech stocks. So today you probably saw a little bit of a drop over there just because of that. Now, let's talk about Workhorse. Some of you own Workhorse because I've been talking about Workhorse for a while. Workhorse is an electric vehicles company that I really liked. And Workhorse, somehow the market got the impression that Workhorse was first in line for to receive a big government contract from the U.S. Postal Service worth billions of dollars. As a result of this, I started buying Workhorse maybe 13 or 14, then it went to 17, then 18, then 20, 22, 25, 28, 30, 35, 40. It looked like it wouldn't stop. And then suddenly the stock price chopped in half. And I said, what made this stock price chop in half? What is going on? Well, it turns out the United States Postal Service did not give Workhorse that contract. And one of the things about investing that's really interesting is whenever a lot of money gets lost, people start getting sued. Whenever money gets lost, it's like a football game. When you lose a football game, that's the greatest time for disunity. I'm sure with the Kansas City Chiefs, when they got hammered in the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes I'm sure he was getting mad at the offensive line, and the guys in the offensive line were getting mad because, maybe the owners don't want to pay them. And then maybe some other guys are mad. Tyreek Hill's mad because they paid Mahomes $500 million. And now you can't afford an offensive line. Now you're going to get crushed because you don't have anybody blocking for you. So a loss causes people to pass the blame. Actually, David Hirschleifer, who was on my dissertation committee, talked about this. He called it self-attribution bias. Self-attribution bias applies to not just human beings, but human beings in the stock market. And what it means is that people tend to take credit for things that they do that are good, and they tend to pass the blame for choices that they make that are bad, or bad outcomes. So, for example, if you notice, whenever your favorite team wins, people tend to say, "We won, we won." But when their favorite team loses, they say they lost. They lost. Well, how come it's a we when we winning, but it's a they when they losing, right? Well, that's because of self-attribution bias. Well, that happens also in the investing world and everything else. And so effectively, you kind of have a situation where people are passing the buck and passing the blame on this whole issue with Workhorse not getting the United States Postal Service contract. So a lawsuit has been filed by the Thornton law firm. And this is important for those of you that have invested in Workhorse, because this affects you. I know it affects me because I bought a lot of Workhorse stock. Now, mind you, I didn't buy Workhorse because I wanted the capital gains. I bought Workhorse because I sold the options. So I made a ton of money on the options, but I did get my stock chopped in half, and I was kind of annoyed by that. But then you know what I did? I went back and I bought some more shares. So I tend to buy the dip. So anyway, let me tell you what the Thornton law firm has to say. The Thornton law firm has alerted investors that a class action lawsuit has been filed on behalf of investors of Workhorse Group, Inc., ticker symbol WKHS. The case is currently in the lead plaintiff stage. Investors who purchase Workhorse stock or other securities between July 7th, 2020 and February 23rd, 2021 may contact the Thornton Law Firm's investor protection team. And there is a link. I'm going to actually put the link in the bio or somewhere where you can find it. If you go to the Black Financial Channel, I'll put it in the chat or something like that. So you can actually go check this out and add yourself to the lawsuit. I know I'm going to add myself because I actually own stock in this company. So here's what they're alleging. The case alleges that Workhorse and its senior executives made misleading statements to investors and failed to disclose. So that's two mistakes. One, in investing, in the world of investing with investor protection laws, you cannot make misleading statements. And also, you must disclose relevant information. When you don't do that, things like this happen. Big lawsuits come along, stuff like that. Now, is this lawsuit frivolous? Nobody really knows. But I know that it's serious. It may or may not be frivolous, but it's definitely serious, and you should pay attention. So anyway, if you're on the Black Financial Channel, I just put the link in there. So they're alleging, one, that Workhorse was merely hoping that the United States Postal Service is going to select an electric vehicle as its next generation delivery vehicle, and had no assurance or indication from the U.S. Postal Service that this was the case. So they're claiming that the U.S. Postal Service didn't even say that they really wanted an electric vehicle. Right. So it's not even a matter of them picking Workhorse to make their electric vehicles. They're saying the U.S. Postal Service didn't even give an indication that they wanted an electric vehicle. Also, let's see, Workhorse had concealed the fact that, as revealed by the Postmaster General in explaining the ultimate decision to not to select an electric vehicle, electrifying the U.S. Postal Service's entire fleet will be impractical and astronomically expensive. So they're saying that, look, it was too expensive. They weren't even going to do it anyway. You made us think that this was going to happen, that it was a done deal. We went and bought the stock based on the fact that you convinced us it was a done deal. And it turned out it was a bunch of BS, that you were just making stuff up, that you were doing a Jussie Smollett on the entire Workhorse investing community. And like Jussie Smollett, you up here talking about I'm the gay Tupac and all this other stuff, just bragging about how great your company is, when really you were the Wizard of Oz. It was much ado about nothing. You had nothing going on, and you lied to us. So, as any relationship therapist will tell you, deception is one of the greatest ways to destroy a relationship. And so the relationship between Workhorse and its investors has been severed, leading to the stock price being chopped in half. Now, the stock has actually moved up recently, and it's from what I've gathered in my research, it moved up because somebody introduced a bill in Congress to try to make the Postal Service's vehicles electrical over a certain amount of time or something. But to me, that didn't even affect Workhorse. So I'm really curious about this company. I'm not sure if I want to remain invested in Workhorse, because I need to go sort of find out if what's real and what's not. So anyway, interested Workhorse investors have until May 7th, 2021 to retain counsel and apply to be a lead plaintiff if they are interested in doing so. Investors do not need to be a lead plaintiff in order to be a class member. A lead plaintiff acts on behalf of all other investor class members in managing the class action. If investors choose to take no action, they can remain an absent class member. The class has not yet been certified. Until certification occurs, investors are not represented by an attorney. So the Thornton Law Firm, the link is actually in the chat. I'm going to put it here on the Black Financial Channel so you can go take a look if you want to. A lot of you may be invested in Workhorse because we've been talking about Workhorse. I told you guys how much money I was making on Workhorse, and I did make a profit. I mean, I still made a ton of money. I still sell the options every week. But if you just held it for the capital gains, you probably got beat up a little bit when the stock price took a nosedive. It's trading about $16 a share now. I think it was well over 30 not too long ago, and that was after that announcement by the United States Postal Service. It is what it is. It's like again, I like sports analogies. It's like sometimes you go out there, sometimes you get your butt kicked, you get punched in the mouth, but then sometimes you go out there and you score touchdowns. And if you don't get on the field, then you'll never know what the outcome is going to be. So that's why I'm glad you're investing. That investing makes you a winner. I'm very, very proud of you, and I wish you the very best. By the way, there's my Twitter right there. My Twitter is Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. And I need y'all to follow me on Twitter so that when all the Negro naysayers come in and decide they want to be anti-Black and come after me because I actually said something that actually has some common sense in it. Common sense is kind of a lost art. The cancel culture has apparently canceled all common sense. I need y'all to provide some backup. So you can follow me at Dr. Boyce Watkins 1 on Twitter. And also, if you're into gaming, I told you guys I decided to do in the tradition of Gordon Parks. I decided to just learn something completely new so that I can spend more time with my kids and also spend more time with younger people that are out here that need some guidance. So I went on Twitch and I learned how to play Call of Duty, and now I'm pretty good at killing zombies. So if you ever want to come in and hang out while I kill zombies, and you can put questions in that chat, I answer all the questions that are in the chat. So feel free to follow me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'll be live on Twitch probably in the next 20 or 30 minutes. So you'll get a chance to hang out with me this morning if that's something that you want to do. All right. So if you could, please hit the thumbs up button, share button, subscribe button. We're out. I'm going to check back in with you a little bit later on today. Make sure you subscribe to the Black Financial Channel, and God bless you. I love you, and I hope you make $1 trillion. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.